So 258 today. We're talking about some standouts in last night's matchup between Vegas and Tampa. And really good matchup. I think it was really fun to watch, really exciting to watch. We had a very close game for the most part of it, and then Vegas, they were able to separate themselves, ended up moving on. They won, well, they didn't win 4-1. They were up 4-1, and then they ended up winning 4-2 with a late goal in the game from Tampa's side. I think in terms of Tampa side, they had some guys who were okay. I think they had some guys who were more noticeable than others, like Brandon Hagel was very effective. I thought Nikita Kucherov was noticeable, as always, Victor Hedman, those type of guys. And then after that, kind of dropped off a little bit. I think Oliver Bjorkstrand in the first part of this game was a little bit more effective, and then he kind of toned it down a little bit. He was really noticeable in terms of checking ability and just being able to play with pace, play with purpose, being able to play with a two-way ability. I think that's the attribute that he brings. He's really intriguing in that sense because he can play a two-way game, he can play a speed game, he can play a rush game, he can play a transition game. He's effective in so many different facets of his offensive game, but also defensively can be reliable. And I think he's going to be a great fit for Tampa Bay if they choose to keep him longer term, which I would imagine they're going to try and do. I think he's the player that they certainly need, fills a void, and that's why they went out and got him. So I think he was noticeable. Brandon Hagel, in terms of forechecking ability, always very noticeable as well. Just being able to cut down space, cut ice in half, be effective there. On Vegas' side, I thought Jack Eichel was really noticeable in terms of shooting ability, being able to shoot off the hop, weight transfer, pace, and being able to leverage his feet and his stance to be able to shoot effectively. And I thought that some of the other guys, like some of their depth guys, were very effective. Brett Howden had a fight in this game. He was really noticeable. Nick Hay had a couple mistakes early on in the game, but he started to clean his game up as the game went on. And I thought he was way more effective as a two-way D, and he's more of a shutdown D for them, but he was effective playing a two-way game, and he certainly can play a steady two-way game when needed. And Riley Smith was really noticeable off the rush. Same with Nick Waugh and William Karlsson. I think those three were very effective in transition, very effective creating off the rush and creating chances in their favor there. Zach Whitecloud was good as a two-way D, similar to Haig in that sense. I would say Whitecloud plays a little bit more heavy on the shutdown side in terms of physicality and stuff like that, and being able to really get in guys' faces one on one. I think Whitecloud does a better job with that, but he's very comparable to Nick Hague in terms of style and how they play, and relatively close in size. Nick Hague's obviously a little bit bigger, but I think Whitecloud plays a similar style game. Alex Pietrangelo, really noticeable on the offensive side, quarterback in the power play, filling a void for Shea Theodore. And it's obviously when you're out a top and premier offensive defenseman, you're going to have to replace him. Luckily, Vegas has that. They have that with Petrangelo. So they can really weaponize him on the power play on their first unit. And he's had experience quarterback in the first unit before, not only in Vegas, but previously in St. Louis too. So I think being able to have Petrangelo there kind of stabilizes things a little bit more versus if you're having a little bit of a younger, I don't want to say inexperienced, but a younger offensive minded defenseman. I think it would be a little different, but certainly Alex Pietrangelo having him there, it helps a lot. Tomas Hertl, and how can you not talk about him? I think he's been Vegas's best player the last, we could say, week or so. He's just been so good, so noticeable on the scoring side, creating a lot of chances, being active on the offensive side of the puck, active around the net, creating a lot of chances and a sustained shot volume as well. So he's been very effective, very exciting to watch, and a player who can create a lot of damage for Vegas offensively as well.